We'll say the prayer. हमें अपने मन को हमेशा संतुलित रखना है। इसी में हमारा आत्म विकास समाया हुआ है। त्वयि मे सर्वं मो मो आत्मनि मे त्वं मो मो स्मारे स्मारे मो चित्तं शामे शामे स्मराणि सोऽहं मो शान्तं चिन्मयमो मामो ततस्थं केवलं मो स्मराणि शुद्धं मामो। Okay. So we move on to the Sutra 29 of chapter 3. And this is again a very, very important sutra. We saw that earlier the Samyam was done on sun or the entrance, solar entrance, then lunar entrance. And there was this object which was external, which is pole star. Now we come back again to the body parts. So this Sutra 29, it reads, Nabhi Chakre Kayavyuha Jnanam. By doing Samyama on the navel plexus, knowledge of the composition of the body is derived. So नाभि चक्र पे संयम करने से काय व्यूह का, काया की रचना का ज्ञान होता है. This is the meaning of the sutra. Now, we have seen when we were doing Sutra 1 of chapter 3, Deshabandhas Chittasya Dharana, that time we had seen that there are various objects for concentration recommended in yoga. Some of the objects are external, which are outside the body. And when they are outside the body, we have to take support of the vrittis, we have to take support of the senses to concentrate on them. And there are objects which are within the body. Now, the objects which are there within the body, there various sensitive zones are there, chakras are there, body parts are there, nasikagra, tip of the nose, area between the eyebrows, top of the head. These were some kind of objects which were suggested. They are known as Adhyatmik Pradesh, Adhyatmik Desh. So this Nabhi Chakra is a Adhyatmik Desh where we can focus by the feeling. Here we don't require any vritti. Here we don't require any external aid of senses or anything. We are not using any senses because the object is internal. So we are focusing by way of feeling the body. So this Nabhi Chakra is the area which is now you see as far as the location is concerned. Now, before talking about it, I will tell you one important thing or interesting thing that I have been, contemplating and working on this sutra since quite long time. almost the first time I started working on it was in maybe around 1989, 90, when the work started on museum at the Yoga Institute. Dr. Jaydev wanted to construct a yoga museum at the Yoga Institute, and various ideas were being collected. And some, because the area restriction was there, so not many artifacts were kept in the museum, but some original thinking was done that how to depict Raja Yoga, how to depict Hatha Yoga, how to depict Bhakti Yoga. So, maybe one or two posters of that was doctor suggested to us. And then we were working on this idea of how to depict. And I remember I had studied this sutra that time. And for Hatha Yoga representation, I had suggested that let us keep this sutra in the focus and work on it. So we made I made a rough, uh, poster, and I gave it to doctor for approval, and he approved it, and then that was put in the museum. Now I don't know whether it is there or now, because lots of old things have been removed and new things have been brought in. But there, this sutra was mentioned in the poster, and the practice which was recommended was the very, very important practice of pranayam number 4, as it is taught at the Yoga Institute. Now, what is pranayam number 4? It is the diaphragmatic breathing. So we lie down in a certain position, we lie down supine, and we fold our knees, legs are closer to the body. One hand is on the floor, the other hand is on the navel, and our fingers are feeling the navel. Our fingers are feeling the moment, feeling the sensations which are arising in the abdominal area where the fingers are kept, and very gently the breathing is done in and out, and one is feeling the rising and falling movement of the abdomen. That is the practice, which is pranayam number 4, as they call it at Yoga Institute. So this number 4 is peculiar to Yoga Institute, and it is not available to other schools, in other schools, but is a typical of Yoga Institute. But then it is worth knowing about this technique. Any practitioner of yoga must know about this technique. They do also know about it because diaphragmatic breathing is a very, very common thing in all schools of meditation, all schools of yoga. So that is the important area. Now, what is suggested, that when the mind is focused on this area, and we saw that it is not ordinary concentration, by way of ordinary concentration also we can learn a great deal about our own body with the simple, ordinary concentration which is at our disposal. But here they are talking about doing Samyama on that Nabhi Chakra, on the navel plexus. So when Samyama is done, or concentration, highest concentration is done on the navel plexus, then one knows all about the formation of the body, how the body has been formed, what are the components of the body, what are the systems of the body. That knowledge will be available to the person who's doing it. Now, this is a very significant thing. Now, we have to understand that now when we are looking at the medical science, we look at the physiology and anatomy, then they talk about the body by way of different systems of the body because of the functions. So various functions are there: respiratory is there, excretory is there, skeletal is there, digestive system is there, nervous system is there. So like that, they talk about these divisions of various functions in the body, various systems of the body, according to the modern physiology and anatomy. But this sutra, as we have seen, that they are very old, so old that we do not know how they were composed, and who composed them. We know that Patanjali has given us sutra, but Patanjali has only restated. Patanjali has not originally made these ideas. These ideas were already available to Patanjali, and he has just restated them. So we do not know since when these ideas were there. But one has to understand that this idea of focusing on the navel, it is one of the most important thing a yoga student can learn. as far as the knowledge of the body is concerned, as far as the maintaining of good health and understanding one's body. It is very important area. So although it is a part of Siddhi, although it is mentioned in chapter 3, so it doesn't mean that it is out of our reach to be able to get some benefit and some, knowledge using this principle which is given in the sutra. We can apply this principle in our day-to-day yoga practices, and we can really reap very rich dividends from doing this simple technique of focusing on the abdominal area. So the formation of the body which Sutra is talking about is based on the most ancient kind of body understanding. Now, this most ancient kind of body understanding, we know that the very systematic healing method, or the science of prolonging the life, science of remaining healthy, science of enjoying a good health, it is known as Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is considered to be very old. The most authentic literature on Ayurveda is almost 2000 years old. Charak Samhita is, for example, almost more than 2000 years old. Sushruta Samhita is also that old. And from where did Charak and Sushruta get these ideas which are mentioned in the Ayurveda? And what is the source of that? So one has to understand why this sutra is indicating to something which is original Sankhya system of philosophy, which is talking about three gunas. So three gunas are only the three doshas of Ayurveda. There's a connection of three doshas and Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas gunas. So our body has, and then modern science also talks about three humors. Greeks talked about it. Some other systems talked about it. There are three humors in the body. So these three doshas are responsible for good health. These three doshas are coming from this Ayurveda principle, but originally these three doshas principles are belonging to Sankhya system. So one comes to know about these three doshas, and then what is known as Sapta Dhatus. Sapta Dhatus, or seven corporeal elements which are there in the body, they are being talked about. So what are these Sapta Dhatus? Now, in Sapta Dhatus, we talk about Twak, or skin. Now, it is not the external skin which is being talked about. Again, you will understand. See, when unfortunately in modern physiology anatomy, we go very specific towards the organs, and we sometimes take one organ as a object of study, but we don't have the comprehensive view about that object in the form of a system to which it belongs, or to a particular function to which it belongs. So for example, when we talk about digestive system, so in digestive system, all the organs related to the process of digestion will be included. That is the process. In Ayurveda also the same kind of thing is there. So when we talk about twacha, many moderners, they have translated twak as the external skin which is visible. But it is not only the external skin, but the kind of liquids, the kind of, as we call the subtle essences, they formulate the skin. That is considered as twacha or twak. That is the first, that is the most external. And then there is rakta, that is blood. Then there is mass, or the flesh. And then there is a bone. And then there is snayu. After mass, flesh, there is snayu, sinews. Now sinews will consider, it is a Sanskrit term, snayu. Snayu will be translated as all the ligaments, tendons, or even the nervous systems, nerves, or even the fibers which are there in the muscles. They all will constitute snayu. So that is the one. And then there is bone, addi. Then there is majja. Majja is the bone marrow. The marrows which are there in the body, that is majja. And shukra, that is semen. Semen, that is the most subtle of the reproductive power of the organism, that is known as the semen. So this is the ancient classification, and Ayurveda still goes by this, even though it is ancient. But if you go to Ayurveda, Dr. Ayurveda Vaidya, They will always consider these 7 elements in the body while treating. Not only that, they will also look at the 3 doshas. So 3 doshas are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So according to Ayurveda, the disease comes because if there is any imbalance in any of these 3 doshas, then the disease will occur. If there is a balance, if they are functioning harmoniously, then there is no problem. Just like when the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are in balance, there is no problem. Only when there is an imbalance in Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna, and Tamas Guna, the problem starts. So these Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they are more at the physical side, and Gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are more at the mental side. So in Ayurveda, whenever some disorders are there, some diseases are there, some problems are there, if the mental disorders are there, they will look at the Rajas and Tamas component. They will look at the Tamas and Rajas and they will try to balance that. When it is physical element, when there's a physical problem, they will look at the 3 doshas in the form of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Now, this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they are again very important because they consider they are regulating very vital functions of our body. And like no personality, we also talk about human personalities. So we say Sattvic personality, Rajasic personality, Tamasic personality. So one who is obsessed completely, one who's totally, kind of fixed, doesn't budge, has no flexibility. We say he's a very tamasic kind of person. But then you will find there's no pure tamasic, rajasic, sattvic type. They are always mixed. If tamas is there, along with that rajas will be there. If sattva is there, along with that rajas will be there. Rajas may have component of tamas. So variety of personalities we see. So like 3 humors are mixed together. Same way, we will find that even in Ayurveda, they say various kinds of personality, they have been categorized like Vata Adhikya personality, the personality of Vata kind, or personality of Kapha kind, or Pitta kind. But then pure Vata, Pitta, Kapha is difficult to find. We all are mixture because everybody, like Sattva, Rajas, Tamas are everywhere. This Vata, Pitta, Kapha is there in every kind of human body or even in the body of the animals. So it is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which is in different proportions. So various kinds of constitutions are there. And Ayurveda would consider this as a very important. And accordingly, all the diagnosis also will be based on that. So what are the functions, basic functions of Vata? Now this, all the areas where we are receiving knowledge, the channels through which we are receiving knowledge, bodha adhisthan, जिससे बोध होता है, जिस किसी भाग से, शरीर के भाग से बोध होता है, सेंसेशंस मिलते हैं, नॉलेज मिलता है, all those adhisthanas from where the bodha is arising are vata function. They are belonging to vata. So even at the mental level, even in the sensory perceptions, vata is a prominent, and also the nervous system. Snayak, the diseases related to nervous system, they are also related to, and any kind of pain which is there in the snayus. As I told you, snayus are of what? They are nervous system. They are also tendons. They are cartilages. So all those things which are binding the bones and flesh together, all those uh, uh, objects, all those things they are being regulated by the vata function. And then all the movements which are taking place in the body, and the pain related to the muscles, pain related to the snayus, gout is there or arthritis there, these kind of diseases will be, or sometimes the cramps are there, convulsions are there. Even one sees that in certain conditions there are mental convulsions, physical convulsions are there. Now all these will belong to the category of pitta. Then all the stationary organs which have got what is known as mucous membrane, all the organs in the body which has got mucous membrane, they will be falling under the category of kapha pravritti or kapha side. So, the nose is there, the eyes are there, the mouth is there, all the apertures which are opening and where is this membrane is there, they will be falling under the categories of. Uh, so even the digestive system will be there, because when we are putting the food in the mouth, there is a kind of membrane which is there, which is at the outer surface of the internal tube. Same way when we are inhaling, exhaling, the trachea is there, and even in the lungs. So this is I'm just giving you information that what is meant by Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and what are the major areas which are covered by Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So having understood that, now we go to the importance of this sutra. As I told you, uh, you know, now this Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they when the Vata increases, certain problems are there. When Vata decreases, certain problems are there. When the kapha increases, certain problems are there. All those problems have been identified in Ayurveda. So looking at the problem, a healer will come to know that what is exactly excessive or what is not functioning well. So accordingly, he will prescribe medicines. So for example, in Vata, if the excessive action is there, he will try to give medicines which will decrease the activity. Or if the dullness is there, then he will give something which will increase the activity of that organ or system, so that the person can overcome. This is the simple principle which is adopted, and it is very, very scientific principle that there are different, like we know about certain, even in from the point of view of nervous system, we know that there is a sympathetic and parasympathetic. So activity increases, activity decreases, and our health largely depends on the balance between the increase and decrease of the activity. If there is a perfect balance between the two, they are working in harmony, they are working in a healthy manner, then the person doesn't come across any diseases, and he can remain very healthy and he can live for a very long time. This is the uh, principle on which the entire Ayurveda. So in a way, Swami Hariyananda has mentioned that the way humanity has benefited from the philosophy of Sankhya and Yoga, same way even the world of medicine and Ayurveda has benefited from Sankhya, because Sankhya gave the first principle of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, which is seen in everything related to Ayurveda. So even the medicines will be of that kind. They will be of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha connection. So any medicine which is related to Kapha, either it will increase the Kapha or it will decrease the Kapha. So this way the entire medical system of Ayurveda works, and the body is also understood in this manner. Now coming to the idea.
Anyway, all of us can't even fit in one car na? Now with this logic. Papan Michelle.
Hello, someone is talking. Please unmute. Okay. So now we go to understand what is the principle behind this sutra, what principle is working, how the body formation is known. As I told you, I was working since long, and a lot of study, lot of research, and lot of experimentation was done. Uh, and one thing we have to understand, some facts which are very ordinarily known to everybody, but their significance is not understood. And one is that the child, when he is conceived in the womb of the mother, the entire formation of the body starts from the navel. We know this simple fact, but we have not paid attention to this so deeply, and we have not thought about it. Now just imagine the moment a fetus is conceived in the womb of the mother, from where the fetus gets nourishment, how the body is formed. Now you see the point where the fetus body is connected to the mother's body is known as the umbilical cord. And it is at the umbilical cord the child or the fetus grows in the womb of the mother. So the entire body starts forming from the navel region. And that is why navel region is so important. And then all the other apparatus, the various systems are growing, and then the limbs are there, the hands and the legs are there, the head is there. But the beginning is at the navel region. So entire human body as if is formed. So it is very natural that when it is a very sensitive area. So in yoga, you will find that when they talk about pranayam, they talk about nadis. 72,000 nadis are considered to be there, important nadis. There are many minor, but 72,000 nadis, which are very important according to yoga, they all begin from the navel region. They are all connected to the navel region. So it is natural that this area was considered to be very, very important. So this is one important thing, one important. Now, if we look at the uh, medical science also, the abdominal area, according to medical science, is known as second brain. We have got one brain which is there here in the head, and the second brain is there in the abdominal area. Why they call it abdominal? They also call it abdominal brain. They call it second brain. They call it abdominal brain. Why they call it abdominal brain? Because it has got its own, kind of decision making. It has got own thinking, which is separated from the ordinary brain thinking. So it is also a very, very important seat of, functioning of the body. How it is important. Now, I have been, giving talks on stress management since so many years. Almost in 2004, I was posted in a government training institute. There I used to conduct courses on stress management, 2 days stress management course. So there I often used to talk about this abdominal brain. What happens is, all must have experienced this. Now this is very practical sutra. As I told you, this is one of the most practical sutra, and if we understand and try to apply the principles, we can really benefit a lot from this. So now just I will ask you to recall your childhood. Suppose you wanted something badly and you were not getting permission for that. But then you asked reluctantly, you asked your parents that you want to do something, and to your surprise, the parents agreed. Parents immediately gave you permission. Where did you feel the first sensation of joy? Where did you feel the first sensation? You'll have to go in your childhood and recall it. Because as we grow up, we are losing sensitivity. Our minds are becoming dull. Our thinking is becoming dull. So we are not connected to the body. We are not connected to the sensations. We are living too much in head, and we are not at all present in the body sensations. So we lose that. But then that's why I'm saying that now also when you will hear something very good related to you, the very exciting thing, just try to observe where you feel the first reaction in the body. And then you will come to know that it will be the abdominal area. And then also recall, if you had heard some very devastating bad news, where did you feel the first reaction? It will be again abdomen. If you observe it, you will find that abdominal reacts the moment, or for that matter, I told you that we talked about stress. If you want to understand stress, very easy it is to understand we are under stress. How? When you are not feeling okay, just place your hand on the abdomen and try to feel it. Your abdomen will become tight. Tight abdomen is the indication of emergency. It is an indication that you are in a very disturbed. We all get this. The moment our abdomen becomes tight, we go into a very, very stressful mental state. So that is as if, it is a trigger point, as if. So it is a switch on, switch off mechanism. So first the abdominal will go tight, and then as if that abdominal brain is sending signals to the entire body. So once the abdomen is tight, You cannot be happy and relaxed and joyous and harmonious with tight abdomen. Try it. Experiment on it. You can try it. If the abdomen is tight, you can't be physically and mentally relaxed. If you are mentally relaxed, then check your abdomen. You will find it will be soft and supple and it will be moving. There will be a gentle, when you touch the abdomen, you will find a difference. So as soon as some stressful news comes, the abdomen goes tight and then all the other parameters of the body will start changing. Because from abdominal area, this navel area, the signals will go to the brain that there is some kind of emergency. Something is not okay. Something is not right. And then the brain will start functioning and then, all the excess, HPA excess, as they call it in the stress management, the hypothalamus and various functions which are there, the endocrine system will come into play, and then all the other signals will go to vital organs, and then adrenaline will be pumped, and then some secretions will be there. So body will be going into a flight and fight mode at the cue. But the cue comes from where? The signal comes from where? You'll find most important is the abdominal area. So as I was telling you, when you hear some bad news, you will feel a reaction in the abdomen. When you hear a good news, a joyful news, then also, for people often say, we have got this expression, there were butterflies in my stomach on hearing this. From where this has come? Butterflies in stomach. Now that is that indicates that how vital this important area is. So this is one. Then how to manage stress? Suppose if there is a stress, what to do? I often used to teach also the various techniques which are adopted for stress management. And one of the important thing is, which everybody now teaches, all over world. The first line of defense, if you go to a stress expert and you tell him that you are going through some kind of stresses, first thing he will suggest is do deep abdominal breathing. Every day do deep abdominal breathing. This is the first fight. This is the first technique which we use. So the moment you start doing deep abdominal breathing, the body tends to relax. And not only the body tends to relax, but gradually, all the systems will also come back to the normal. So if we go into the detail of it, what happens? The moment abdomen becomes tight, the parasympathetic nervous system comes into play. And that changes the entire scenario, that changes the entire functioning of our body. So for that, we'll have to go a little into physiology and anatomy. We know that there is central nervous system, there is motor nervous system, there is peripheral nervous system, and the part of the nervous system is autonomic nervous system. So autonomic nervous system is related to those functions in the body which are not consciously available to us. So for example, while talking to you, I'm talking to you, I'm using which part of the nervous system I'm using, I've got control over it. So I can stop, I can continue talking. I'm lifting my hand, I'm keeping the hand down. Which part of the nervous system I'm using, which is accessible to me through my mind, through the control. But there is another part of nervous system, like while I'm talking to you, you are listening to me, you are blinking your eyes. Some functions are going on, heartbeat is going on, the digestive system is going on, the blood circulation is going on. So many activities right now are going on in the body, but we don't have any knowledge of that. We are not conscious of it. We are not aware of it. So what is regulating? Which part of the nervous system is regulating it? It is the autonomic nervous system is regulating. Now I'm talking to you about something very funny, very jovial, very relaxing. Suddenly you start laughing and there is a change in the parameters which are functioning in the body. I tell you about something very serious, very intense, something maybe bad or maybe very shocking. The body undergoes change. Lots of changes are taking place in the body. We are not aware of that. And all that is taking place because of the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system also has got two parts. One is sympathetic nervous system. The other is parasympathetic nervous system. So if you have read carefully the publications of Yoga Institute, doctor has often talked about the sympathetic high tone. Sympathetic high tone, so it is very much connected to the stressful life we are living. So most of us, when we are living a stressful life, our sympathetic tone is very high all the time. So throughout the day, now what is the function of sympathetic? Sympathetic will increase the blood pressure. It will increase the muscle tightness. It will increase the breathing rate. It will tighten the muscles. It will, also dilate the pupils so that we can see better. So all the emergency functions which are required for the body to survive, they are all activated by the sympathetic nervous system. So the moment abdomen becomes tight, sympathetic tone starts functioning, the sympathetic nervous system starts becoming activated, and then all the parameters in the body, they go in emergency mode. Our blood pressure will increase, digestive system will completely stop. Whenever we are tense, the blood stops going to the digestive system. It goes to the big muscles. Which are big muscles? The legs, the hands, shoulders. Because body doesn't understand what is happening. Body is now only preparing the organism for fight and flight response. So if you want to run away, you require big muscles to work. Or if you want to fight, then also big muscles are required to function. So all the blood will be circulated towards the big muscles, and the blood circulation from the digestive system will be, temporarily stopped. Temporarily means as long as the sympathetic part is functioning, the blood will go into the large muscles. It will not go into the digestive system. The heartbeat will be increasing, the blood pressure will be increasing, muscles will become tight. So this is the emergency mode, and this happens most of the time to most of the people in modern world. Earlier it used to happen rarely to our forefathers. What could be the situation our forefathers will face which will be considered as dangerous? Normally they were very safe. Only when they will go out in jungle, they will go out in some, from one village to other, and they face some animal, they face some dacoits, they face some challenges, then the stress will go up. Otherwise they had very less stress. But modern man has got more stress than the forefathers. So this is how most of the time most of the people are living on in high sympathetic tone. Person are there, the moment some small trigger is there, people will pounce upon, because they have got very short kind of tolerance limit. And that is not because the mind, it is not that they want to do it, it is because of the physical condition, because they are living in that sympathetic tone, so they are under a lot of stress. And stress, this is happening, that all the time the blood pressure is increasing. So that's why you'll find that most of the people living in cosmopolitan cities, big cities, they have this stressful body, and because of which all the problems are arising. And these problems are again, they are not coming from the external uh, part of the life. They are coming from within the body. They are what is known as metabolic diseases, metabolic problems. All the problems nowadays we are facing in the world, all over world, they are metabolic in nature. So diabetes is there, migraine is there, heart problem is there, asthma is there, arthritis, many types of arthritis is there, mental disorders are there, or these bipolar disorders are there. So lots of such disorders, they are arising within the body. So in healthy body, they cannot arise. They arise when continuously a person is living in a sympathetic tone for a very long time. Otherwise, they will not arise. It's a very big topic. I'm just very briefly covering it. So you understand why Nabhi Chakra is important. Now, the moment you start working on Nabhi Chakra, the moment you relax your abdomen and start doing pranayam number 4, start doing diaphragmatic breathing, you will find immediately the nervous system tone changes. You will be surprised merely by doing this maybe 20, 30 rounds of pranayam number 4, we are triggering parasympathetic nervous system. So what is parasympathetic nervous system? Parasympathetic nervous system restores the balance in the body. So increased blood pressure will be reduced by parasympathetic. The tension, the blood circulation, all the increased activities of the body will come back to normal when the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So nowadays they talk about the yoga techniques in such a manner. Even nowadays, this you know important work on the nervous system is also being talked about. So all yoga techniques are helping us in increasing the parasympathetic tone. And I told you that doctor had mentioned in some of the writings that today we are living in high sympathetic tone. That's why all the problems are there. And when we are really practicing yoga very well, then this tone can be reversed. There are a lot of details. I will not go into that because there are many other areas we need to look into it. Now, this abdominal area is very important. It is very vital. Very interesting fact, I'll tell you, all the martial artists, all the police forces, army forces in the world, you will find that they are wearing a very thick belt in the abdominal area. Almost all over world you will find. Why? This research was done, and then it was found, somebody had asked this question, and the information is that this area is very vital. A small blow in this area can be fatal to the human beings. That's why all the combat forces in the world, they are wearing very thick, big belt around that area. Even the fighters, those who don't have belts, they will tie thick cloth around the abdominal area. So even you will find some combating arts are there. So in those combating arts also, they will tie the abdominal area so that they can sit tightly, they can sit upright. This is now, you see, very important aspect of it is that for health, again, this area is to be, always attended to properly. Whenever there is a tension in this area, there are surely going to be, some problems are there. And then in Tantra also we find, in higher other yoga techniques also find that this Nabhi Chakra is equated to Manipur Chakra. Manipur Chakra is the center of the energy. So Manipur Chakra is equated. I don't know whether it is same, because some commentators differ that Manipur Chakra is different and Nabhi Chakra is different. But we do not know. Many people equate with them. Many experts say that Nabhi Chakra and Manipur Chakra are same. Now Manipur Chakra, we find that it is the energy house. That is where the Agni Tattva resides. And all the Agni Tattva, all digestion processes take place in the abdominal area. All the energy distribution in the body is done from the abdominal area. So these are very, very vital things, indicators why Patanjali has selected that focus on the Nabhi Chakra. Why he says that Nabhi Chakra will reveal this information. Now I tell you that as I was telling you that lot of studies were going on. I started learning Tai Chi somewhere in 1998. So more than 25 years now. And I found that in Tai Chi, most important area which is to be focused on is again Nabhi Chakra. In Tai Chi, it is known as, if we go according to Chinese, they call it Dan Tien. So all the activities start from Dan Tien. It is the Nabhi Chakra which is the center of all the activities. So when you see a Bruce Lee sending a punch at the great speed and having a weightage of few tons, understand that all the force is coming not from the hand, not from the fingers. It is coming from Dantien. It is coming from the Nabhi Chakra. So all the force which the martial artists are using, the force is coming from the Nabhi Chakra. So this abdominal area, particularly the lower abdomen and just a few inches below the navel, that area is considered as Dantien. And the more one is focused on the Dantien, the more energy he acquires, the more prana he acquires. He can control, so all Chi Kung, Karate, those who have learned Tai Chi and they know how to focus on Dantien, they become extraordinary martial artists. So in martial arts, this has been, important area which is focused on. Anytime you will learn Tai Chi, the first thing will be focus on Dantien. Forget about the body and hands. Even, it appears, the flowing movements which are there in Tai Chi, very gentle movements are, it will appear that the hands are moving and the shoulders are moving. Actually, movement is originating from the Dantian area. It is originating from Nabhi Chakra. Same way, I also found briefly, I'll mention you, when I teach yoga, I tell everyone whom I am teaching, many years I have been teaching Yoga Institute practices outside. You may not be knowing it because you associate always with me with sutras, but I have been taking practicals outside. So many times I have taken practicals and I have taught. And whenever I teach pranayam number 4, I tell them that perhaps this is the most important practice you are learning in yoga. Most important, because our entire health, in the even the span of life and health, it depends on the correct form of breathing, and that breathing occurs in the abdominal area. That is the diaphragmatic breathing. The more we use diaphragm, the better it is for our body and our mind. By using diaphragm, we are making our body very strong, and our mind also remains all the time relaxed. So this is one of the important. I have got wonderful results from pranayam number 4, teaching to so many people and then getting feedback from them. Wonderful results as far as the health is concerned. So this is one aspect. The other aspect I tell you, since last my Japanese friend is here, Nanai-san is there. We used to discuss about Zen meditation. So she taught me little steps of Zen meditation, and ever since then, since not almost 2018 or 19, I have been practicing little bit of Zen meditation. So I did some research in the Zen meditation. There also they find that the primary breathing which is occurring in Zen meditation, the most integral part, without which one cannot succeed in Zazen. The spirit of Zazen is covered by deep abdominal breathing. So when a person is sitting in Zazen, there are again in Zen Buddhism, there are schools of Zen Buddhism. Rinzai there, Soto Zen is there. Now each one has got little difference, but essentially they all are focusing on the abdominal area. So in Japanese, what is called as Dantien in Chinese is known in Japanese as Tanden. So Tanden is the most important area where the focus is there. So in sitting in Zazen, one is all the time, absorbed. The breathing is occurring from that area. And as I was studying about Zen, I heard one great monk who is also, the kind of head of the monastery somewhere in Japan. So I just wrote down few of his words, and I had a slide few years back. I had taken that slide. I just I'll read from it. See, this was explained in one of the institution in USA, where this head of the monastery from Japan had gone and he had given a talk on Zen meditation. So he's talking about this very area which I mentioned, Dantian or Nabhi Chakra. He says the secret of sustaining life and attaining longevity is found in disciplining the body. The secret of disciplining the body is to focus the mind in the tanden located in the ocean of ki, chi. Ki in Japanese they call it ki, in Chinese it is called chi. So it is located in the ocean of ki. When the mind focuses in the tanden, ki gathers there. When ki gathers in the tanden, the true elixir is produced. When the elixir is produced, the physical frame is strong and firm, and the life force is full and replete. When the life force is full and replete, longevity is assured. This corresponds to the secret method that the ancient sages perfected for refining the elixir 9 times over and returning to the source. You must know that the elixir is not something located apart from the self. The essential concern above all is to make the fire or the heat in your mind, heart, descend to the lower body so that it fills the tanden in the body. So you see, this is again, I'm telling you, a few years back, I had uh, listened to this recording, and then some slides I had just copied. When I was doing the sutras, I remembered. So I took it out and I just read it to you. There's another work by one great Zen master about, he also talks about this tanden. So the chin should be pulled back and the top of the head thrust upward, while the neck should touch against the back of the collar. With the body in the posture, the strength will quite naturally settle into tanden, the place in the lower abdomen, 2 or 3 inches below the navel. The physical and mental foundation of Zazen practice. It is important, however, to think tanden not as a specific point in the body, but as something that appears when a number of factors are in proper balance. The tanden, in a sense, the expression of overall condition, it will not appear when the upper trunk is, unless the upper trunk is relaxed. So certain relaxation of the upper trunk is necessary. And I'm just reading this just to tell you that what this idea is. Now in Hatha Yoga, again you will understand, when Hatha Yoga has been defined as what? Ha represents sun, Tha represents moon, and combination of Ha and Tha is what is Hatha Yoga. So if you read the definition of Hatha Yoga is combining the two different forces. So Prana or Apan, these are related to Pranapan. So where do the Pranapan meet? Where do the sun and moon meet? They meet at the Antien. They meet at Nabhi Chakra. Nabhi Chakra is the energy center from which the entire body starts functioning. If we focus merely on this, a lot can change. So these are very interesting things, when we learn these practices. If you practice pranayam number 4, or if you practice this meditation in the method where the focus is on the lower abdomen and properly deep breathing is going on. Unless there is a deep breathing, abdominal breathing, meditation cannot succeed. We have to understand that. If we want to succeed in meditation, our breathing has to be very relaxed, and that breathing has to be abdominal. Without that, we cannot succeed in meditation. So this is a very, very vital sutra, very, very important sutra. There are many things we can go into details, but I think I have spoken a lot. So many ideas are there in this. So now, if there are questions.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So, all my life I have faced a lot of issues with my digestive system.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned today, uh, how do you work on that Nabhi Chakra? How do you improve that Shakti there? So that I think it's everything to do with even your mental energy, the mental frame of mind, your emotions, all of that affects the digestive system as well, right?
Yeah.
So
So-
how do you work? And
So
I mean, I'm
now,
not asking you how are we working on to improve the digestive system. I'm asking you how do you work on improving that
yeah.
Nabhi Chakra?
So for all for everybody, it will be worthwhile to practice pranayam number 4 a few times in a day. So we can practice 30 to 40 rounds of pranayam number 4 in the morning, in the afternoon before the meals, in evening, then again maybe while sleeping. If there is a considerable gap between dinner and our sleep, then at the end of the day, before sleeping also some abdominal breathing can be done. This is one practical thing which can be done, which will improve not only the digestive system, but it will improve the entire body. It will improve the mental function as well. And then when we are doing meditation, this abdominal breathing, the deep diaphragmatic breathing has to be focused on. This is the only way we can improve. And what happens is most of the people have developed wrong way of breathing. So most of the time we are doing chest breathing, clavicular breathing we are not going deep into the abdomen. Maybe because of the tight clothes also, all modern outfits are also of that kind which are preventing us from really breathing freely. So this focus on the abdomen, even few times in the day, paying attention to the abdomen will really help us in eliminating a lot of stress from the body. So habitually trying to make it a habit that we check our abdomen. We pay attention to our abdomen while in between. Whenever opportune moment, this way we will be becoming little aware of the body also. Like what happens is, we remember Gorakshnath, the great yogi. What he says? He says, one who doesn't know anything about the functioning of his body, how he can succeed in the other great areas of yoga? You have to know your body. You have to know yourself. And knowing yourself begins with your own body. How our bodies function. When do we become tense? When do we lose energy? When do we feel weak? When do we feel bad? Or when do we feel really enthusiastic and energetic? This is all energy work. And when we are aware, we will come to know that if we are paying attention to abdominal area a few times in a day, that also improves. These are practical things because, as I told you, a lot of feedback I have received. And whenever a person is practicing in this manner, he has gained a lot. Personally, I have gained a lot from this. As I told you, I started learning Tai Chi somewhere in 1998, and I've been working on Dantian. It's not easy. And as this Zen monk said, that certain conditions have to be there in the body, then you can feel Dantian. You cannot just locate, pinpoint that this is there. It is a feeling. One experiences it. It is not something to be talked about as a physical organ, but it is an experience which takes place when you are doing correct things.
So you suggest 30 to 40 rounds at one time?
At one time, 4 times in a day.
4
Or
times.
three times at least. 3 times at least. Before breakfast, before dinner, before lunch.
Okay.
So that is a good way to begin with, to generate that kind of awareness, physical awareness, abdominal breathing.
So what
When
should
you-
be the sound? Diaphragmatic
To
breathing.
your capacity. One round after another, it should be very relaxed. So not holding breath or not prolonging so much that the next round or third round becomes uncomfortable. It has to be very gentle, very comfortable. And even the abdominal doesn't have to be pressed out, nothing of that sort. You have to just focus there and be in a very gentle way. It's to be.
Even during meditation, it's the same.
Yes, same thing happens. Same thing happens.
From the middle, right?
See,
The
in
breathing.
meditation, when we are sitting incorrectly, the abdomen gets compressed, so our breathing will become chest breathing, or we will find it difficult to really breathe abdominally. But if we are sitting correctly, the abdominal area is free, automatically the breathing will occur deep and it will go into the dantian. It will be diaphragmatic.
Okay.
when you're saying 30 rounds, is it equal breathing? Is it normal breathing? What is it?
Normal breathing, normal breathing.
Normal breathing.
Not deepening it too much, but the moment you become conscious, automatically breath gets deepened. You don't have to put extra effort.
So it's a normal breathing.
Normal breathing, but equalizing it, inhaling, exhaling in the same.
We have to equalize it, or
Equalize
just
it.
let it happen on its own?
Actually, what is suggested technically is prolonging the exhalation, but that is in the meditation. But when you are doing this abdominal breathing, as we have learned at the Yoga Institute, try to equalize it. In meditation, they say that your inhalation should be shorter than the exhalation, so they prolong the exhalation. It is also we had discussed one sutra 34 of chapter 1. Please read the commentary on that. Please read the commentary on Sutra 34 of chapter 1. Prachardana vidharna bhyam va pranasya. There also some suggestions are there.
It is a well-known fact that there is a gut-brain axis.
Yeah.
So anybody who has disturbance and is able to breathe slowly, he's able to get rid of all digestive problems like IBS, etc., which are completely stress-oriented by just doing diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, abdominal area needs to be worked in IBS case. Abdominal muscles need to be strengthened.
Also, another example that comes to the mind is many years ago, Amitabh Bachchan was very serious and the whole world was praying for him. He had received by mistake a punch in his navel area during one of his shootings.
Yeah.
So that area is also very crucial for
it's very important. Very
life to exist.
Yes.
Niranjan, somewhere they suggested that we have to just concentrate on a complete exhalation and leave the inhalation on its own. So, is that a better thing than this equal breathing, or what is it like?
See, equal breathing is to train the diaphragm. So when you are doing equal breathing consciously, then gradually what will happen, you will tend to breathe through abdomen. You will tend to, and then automatically you'll find that the exhalation is getting prolonged. Actually, its suggestion is that you are uh, awareness has to be there while inhaling also, while exhaling also. But exhaling, we prolong a little when we are sitting for meditation, a few rounds of extended exhalation, and then we leave it. Then we don't bother about it. Body will pick up the rhythm and body will accordingly function.
But
We have to consciously put effort till the time it becomes a second nature to us. It becomes part of our normal breathing. Till that time, we have to train our body.
but not in pranayam 4, what you're saying.
In that, we are doing equalized breathing.
Okay.
So that is the preparatory. If we do it regularly, then you'll find the breathing completely changes. We are picking up new kind of new rhythm comes into the. But but again, there's a caution. This should not be overdone. This should not be forced. This should not be. This should be done with lot of caution because it is very dangerous if we overdo it. So very slowly, very gentle. That's why 30 rounds is suggested at one go, not more than that. And when one has acquired that habit, automatically he's sitting, even while standing, while walking, while talking, his abdominal breathing will be going on automatically. Healthy kind of breathing will be acquired, that rhythm will be acquired by the body.
So
And
I've noticed my abdominal breathing is better when I do it through the Ujjayi breath.
Ah.
Is that okay?
See, Ujjayi, how long you will be able to do it?
No, matlab not forceful. It's just naturally more easier to inhale through that.
Whenever we are consciously doing Ujjayi or Shitali or Shitkari, abdomen comes into play.
Yeah.
If you want to learn very gentle kind of inhalation, exhalation, then pranayam number 4 is a better technique to begin with. Because we want our body to pick up that rhythm.
So, lekin pranayam number 4 only can we do with Ujjayi inhalation?
No.
Just normal.
No, then it will be restricted. Then yeah,
So
normal,
normal.
normal.
3 seconds inhaling, 3 exhaling should be just fine.
Too short, too short.
Too short.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh,
That will be the better. But again, it should be those who are practicing yoga, asanas they are doing for them, 8, 10 is not really very difficult or very high. 7, 6, 7, very easily it can be attained. When very relaxed, then it goes up to 10. But to begin with, 6 will be good idea. और किसी को कुछ सवाल पूछना है कुछ any questions? So we leave it here.
वो जो कहावत है, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. अपना does it apply here?
But not that kind of stomach which you are referring to. All the time eating. That is the invitation to diseases and problems. So that way is not the right way. The way which Patanjali suggests, focus on your abdomen and and understand your feelings, how the feelings are affecting the body. That way, if we understand, that way, if we go, then it will be a door to knowledge, new knowledge, door to understanding. Not eating. ठीक है, we leave it here.
Thank you. A lot of hard work is seen in your talks. A lot of hard work.
Because
Yeah.
these sutras, as I told you, doctor taught us and then he asked us to think on these lines, work on these areas. So we did some work and it is really, really helpful. It's really helpful. Personally, also, I tell you, it is really helpful.
A lot of hard work is being done by you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. अजय रिकॉर्ड किया रहेगा तो भेजना.